Covert narcissists are the worst. They are honestly, to me, the most dangerous because they're the hardest to spot. They're not loud. They often play the victim. They're humble, sometimes even wounded. But underneath that soft tone is this underlying rage, this underlying person who is manipulative and toxic, just as toxic as any overt narcissist. They just are really good at wearing a convincing disguise. And in this video, I'm going to reveal 9 subtle signs of covert narcissism. And once you learn them, you'll never be fooled again. So by the end of this video, you're going to know the hidden patterns that covert narcissists all use to control others, why they're harder to detect than overt narcissists, and how to emotionally protect yourself even when they play the victim. I had one of the people in one of my programs said he never yelled, he never even name called, but somehow I just felt smaller and smaller and smaller, like I didn't even exist anymore. And now I understand it wasn't me, it was covert abuse. And that's why we're here. And it's to pull that mask off so that you don't feel like you're dying a death by 1,000 cuts. If you're new here, I'm Rebecca Zung. I'm a trial lawyer. I'm also a negotiation expert and the developer of Slay AI, a USA Today bestselling author. I've helped people around the world spot red flags, reclaim their voices just like you want to, your confidence, and walk away with freedom, clarity, power. So if you're ready to stop second guessing yourself and start trusting yourself again, hit subscribe and tap that bell, because I'm going to give you some tools today that narcissists don't want you to have, that's for sure. So number 1 is excessive self-deprecation. It's actually the opposite of what you might think, right? They're not bold, but this is to the point of making you feel guilty. I know I'm such a burden. You probably hate being around me. That's not being vulnerable. It's weaponizing you. It's weaponizing shame, weaponizing guilt, so that you have to work harder constantly to lift them up and praise them and prove your loyalty constantly. The second one is quiet entitlement. They won't necessarily demand attention, but they will expect it. And when you don't give it, they sulk, they withdraw, they act like you've betrayed them. Their expectations are high, but they just don't overtly state them. Okay. Number 3 is passive aggressive behavior. This is so classic of a covert narcissist. They'll sulk, sabotage. They act like they've missed texts. Oh, I didn't see that. Oh, I was confused. I didn't understand. They forget things, subtle digs. Oh, I can't believe I left you off that email chain. I don't know how that happened. I call them the pearl grabbers. What? Me? I would never. It's because there's always a plausible deniability to everything they do, because there's always sort of like 2 ways that you can take it. And you just always feel like you're the one who needs to fix something or do something, even when you didn't do anything wrong, but they subtly sort of make it seem like you're doing something wrong all the time. The next thing is that poor me persona. Covert narcissists are addicted to being seen as the underdog or the victim. They don't take responsibility for what they do, but they take everything personally. They take everything personally, but they don't take responsibility. And they use pity, like your pity, as a shield from accountability. Like, oh, I had a really tough week. I had a horrible childhood. You can't allow me to, or make me responsible for anything, because like, of all the things that are going on in my life, blah, blah, blah. Going back to taking things personally, number 5 is hypersensitivity to criticism. So even gentle feedback can trigger like a meltdown, crying. You find yourself walking on eggshells, apologizing for their feelings because you're trying to like get them to take accountability, and it makes you easier to control, right? Because they stay emotionally protected from everything. And so you never want to bring anything up because you feel like, I don't want to have to go through that again, right? And so I want to know which ones you guys have seen so far: passive aggressiveness, a poor me, hypersensitivity to criticism, quiet entitlement, excessive self-deprecation. Have you guys seen any of these? Let me know which ones you've seen in the comments. If you are getting ready to negotiate with a narcissist or a covert narcissist, get my free Crush My Negotiation Prep Playbook at winmynegotiation.com and get started with that, because it has everything you need to negotiate. And join me in my free private Facebook group, Narcissist Negotiators with Rebecca Zung, too. I don't want you guessing anymore. I want you strategizing. Number 6 is emotional vacuuming. They mirror your values, your hobbies, your personality, and they slowly take control of them. Super weird is like they'll watch you, they'll study you, they'll start copying you, they'll copy the way you dress, the way you talk, the way you, all the things that you like. And you look up one day and you feel like, what is going on here? Like your entire life revolves around them and their needs and their emotions, and you can never have any of your own. Number 7 is resentful generosity. It's, I'll give it to you, but what am I getting in return? And later they'll say, after all I've done for you. And even if it was like really hard for them to give you something, and then they finally do, then they'll hold it against you. Like, look at what I did for you. And you think, oh my God, it took so much. It was like pulling teeth to get you to do that. But then you realize their gifts are not acts of love. They're down payments on control. They're payments toward strings later. It's all a very transactional relationship with them. And number 8 is intellectual superiority masked as quiet confidence. They act like they're too evolved to argue, but in reality, they just gaslight you with like this smug indifference. I'm not going to lower myself to your level. Meanwhile, they've already emotionally drained you without even raising their voice. Number 9 is conditional empathy. Again, with the conditions, again, with the strings. They seem caring unless you disagree, unless you challenge them, or unless you set a boundary. They're gone. Their empathy vanishes. And if you don't appreciate them enough, then they're gone. You know, it's a constant pouring into them just to get one drop of anything back. And you see that cold control underneath the mask. So if you've seen even 3 of these signs in somebody in your life, I want you to put mask off in the comments. Like, it's time to take that mask off. And you don't have to explain your experience to anyone, but starting to name it is the way that you start to heal. Once you start to understand it, you really start to heal yourself. If you've ever built anything from scratch, whether it's a business, a brand, or a podcast, you know there's nothing small about it. The decisions, the hustle, the grind, the pressure, it's so all-consuming. And that's why I was so grateful to find Shopify when I set up my own store, shop.rebeccazung.com. Shopify powers millions of businesses worldwide and handles 10% of all e-commerce in the US, from giants like Mattel and Gymshark to brands just starting out. It simplifies everything: inventory, payments, analytics, marketing, all in one place, and their built-in tools make it so easy to run email and social campaigns that keep customers coming back. If you're selling globally, Shopify can help you do that too in over 150 countries. If you're selling in person, their award-winning point of sale brings your online and retail worlds together. And with 99.9% uptime and the best converting checkout on the planet, you'll never miss a sale. Get all the big stuff for your small business right with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 a month trial and start selling at shopify.com/negotiate. That's shopify.com/negotiate. The next video that I want you to watch is 7 habits of highly narcissistic people. And I'm going to walk you through their exact blueprint so you can stop playing defense and start playing offense, because that's what it's all about. And if you like this, and this opened your eyes, I want you to do 3 things. Number 1, I want you to like this video, give it a thumbs up. Number 2, I want you to share it with somebody who needs to hear this information. And then number 3, I want you to check and make sure that you have subscribed here and tap that bell, because it's time for all of us to stop living in the shadows where narcissists thrive. They thrive in the shadows. But when you start to turn on the light, that's when you start to reclaim your power. And today we're turning on the light. Also know that today is a perfect day to start negotiating your best life. And I will see you in that next video.